Hello, welcome to my channel once again. In this video, we are going to be looking at application secrets. We are going to be looking at Azure Key Vault. We are going to be looking at how we can programmatically retrieve a secret from Azure Key Vault. In the last video, you saw how let me share my screen. In the last video, we saw how we could use an application object to connect to a storage account within Azure. And if you can recall, in connecting to the application object, we needed to have our tenant ID, client secrets in our code. So now we are looking at how we can do it in a cleaner method. So you might want to instead of having some of this information within your code, you might want to have them safely stored in a key vault. So that's what we are going to be looking at now. So what we are going to be doing is I will be creating an account on the Key Vault service. I'll be adding a secret, and we are going to be retrieving the value for that secret from our code here. And the secret I will be using, the secret I will be adding will be this client secret that we have here. But I will just append 3 additional characters to the end, just for you to know that it is different from this one that we have here. So let me go to Azure and do some computations before we return to Visual Studio. So I'm sharing my Azure now. So the first thing you need to do is you need to go to the Key Vault. So as I said earlier on, we want to store a secret within our Key Vault, and we want to be able to retrieve that secret. So we are on our Key Vault now. What you need to do is to create a Key Vault, which I already created one, but there's something important that you need to take note of. There are 2 permission model, and I'll be showing us about that. I will not click on create here, but I just want us to see the permission models, the differences. So let me just pick, just call it something. Then I would go down. All this is fine, so that when you want to create yours, you can also work through it. Then days to retain deleted, I can leave it as 9 days because I wouldn't even be saving this. Next, access configuration. Yes, this is the interesting part, the permission model. So you can either choose to use role-based access control or vault access policy. For our demonstration, I will be using vault access policy. That's for this demonstration. But in subsequent videos, I will be showing us how we can also use role-based access control. But I find because I want emphasis should be on the connection from our code to our Key Vault rather than heightened security. So this role-based access control is the recommended approach, and it's the best practice way of approaching this. But vault access policy is also great. If you should come over here, you can see what the role-based access control approach is about. And if you come over here, you can see what the Key Vault access policies are also about. So all of that things is fine. Networking, I want public because I'll be accessing it over a public network, and that's fine. Then tag, review and create, and all that is fine. So I can run a validation and I will be able to create my Key Vault. However, because I already have one that I will be using, I do not need to create this, but I just want us to see that the validation will be passed. So you can see it's passed, so I can now create, but I will be closing this. Yeah, and I'll be going into this Key Vault that I already created. Note that I am not using role-based. The permission model for this lab is not role-based access control. I'm using access policies. So if I had used role-based access control, I wouldn't be able to come over to the secrets to create secrets. I wouldn't be able to generate any secrets. I will need to set up my access control IAM first. to do some kind of role assignment to my own user before I can be able to generate secret. However, there's a way you can combine both role-based access control at the top layer, then also access policies at the granular levels. You can combine both also. So what I will be doing is, I already have secret created, but the important thing I want us to take note of before we come to the secret is that come over to access policies, then you need to create an access policy. You can see that I added the application object that we use for our blob, for our to access our blob storage in our storage account. I already added this. So what you need to do is come over to create, then you need to pick the permissions. This is access policy, so you need to select the kind of access that you want. Because I'm dealing with secrets, what I want to add is client secrets. So it's secret permission that is of interest to me. I am not working with keys maybe for encryption. I'm not doing that. Also, I am also not working with certificates permissions. Also, I don't need this. So what I primarily need is permission to be able to get a secret and also list secrets. So these are the two that I need. But if I wanted, I can also use a template and just go for secret management, and it automatically populates the permissions that are for secrets. Then if you scroll down, so not here. So if you go to next, we can choose our principal, and this is where you need to pick the application object that you must have already created from Microsoft Entra ID. So you must have created your application object from Microsoft Entra ID, which I already did. Then you will now need to enter it from here. So frankly Aparada. So I will click on this if I wanted to allow this application object to be the principal for this access policy that is being created. And this is because there's a link between Visual Studio to the application object, and there's now a link between the application object to my Azure Key Vault. So that is the logic behind it. So in case you don't know how to create an application object, all you need to do is come over here, open Microsoft Entra ID, come over to add app registration, and you can register an application. So you can register an application, just click on register, and that is all. So with that, whatsoever you have registered in the application object, you can enter it here and you'll see it listed here. So I believe that is clear. So with list and get access policies for secret management, we are good. So I already added, and the moment you add it, you see it listed here under application. This is my own account, my user account. It automatically gives me access, also gives me permission rather. So in terms of the kind of vault, the kind of credential that I want to store, it's not a key, it's not a certificate, rather it's a secret. So I come over to secret, and you can see I already created two here. So if I need to generate one, I'll just come over here to generate, give it a name, leave it as manual. Manual is fine. Give it a name, my secret. Then you can paste whatever secret value. This is the value that we want to retrieve. So all those values that we add in Visual Studio, instead of hard coding them in Visual Studio, we can also retrieve them from our Azure Key Vault. Then content type is optional. We don't need that. We want to retrieve the raw value. And since we are not encrypting we align Microsoft do the encryption, the storage encryption, then enabled, we don't need this, then we can just create, and that's it. So automatically we'll have our secret. So if you should follow that, you are going to be able to, you will see it listed here. So this is the one I'm working on. So now let me go to, so now we can now go to our Visual Studio. Let me share my Visual Studio. Then under tenant ID, client ID, and client secret, all this I've showed you in the last video, how you can get this from our application object. So these two are generated automatically, but for the client secret, you might need to go to secrets, and yeah, so you'll be able to generate this. So afterwards, all you need to do is this program, we use this class client secret credential. You can see we are using Azure.identity as well as Azure.secret.keyvault.secret. These packages, you can get them from Nugget. So I think I'm not sharing my screen. Yeah, so you can go over to Nugget Package Manager and add Azure Identity and Azure Security. Then this is basically, we just want to get the secret value. We are using this class, calling these methods, and it's a very simple program. So if I should run this, you are going to see that we are going to have our secret displayed. So let me share the output screen so that we can see it. We can see the value of our secret. Yeah, you can see the value of our sticker. You can see the IO that I appended at the ending just to differentiate it from the client secret that we had in our code. So this is a very good approach, something that you can work with, that would help your program to be more secure. So if you find this video informative, don't hesitate to like, share, and subscribe. Have a good day.